Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today, Joey has come down from the Kitchener-Waterloo Bonsai Society with his giant variegated Portulacaria afra, and we're going to do its first styling. So Joey, when did you pick up this tree?
I actually picked this up probably 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
So it's, we went to Jade's greenhouse and garden.
Okay.
I think it's Milton Wise.
Near Milton there, yeah.
Yeah, and they always pretty much have probably by far the best specimens for when it comes to any type of jades and succulents that I've found. So yeah, we walked in there, and we usually go probably once or twice a month, as much as we can. And yeah, I was walking down, and they had a massive bunch of these from the regular Portulacarias. And I saw this, and it was just, you
said, I have to have it.
It just, I locked into it, and I was like, that's it, I have to have this guy.
Spoke to you, eh?
Because I was actually thinking about the weeping willows a couple days before I purchased this, so kind of saw the overall shape of it.
This has kind of a natural weeping style, doesn't it?
So that was love at first sight for me, right there.
Yeah, it's quite a specimen. It'll be quite a challenge to sort it all out too, I think.
I believe so, yeah. But
all right.
It's worth it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. We'll rotate the tree around and see what it looks like at the present time. These rocks are on here just to stop the pot from tipping over, because it's quite lopsided, this tree. So just don't want any accidents to happen. So you can see the trunk has quite a bit of movement to it. So all the weight of the tree is on the one side. Oh, this is scaring me. And we're back around to the bare side. I'm really scared this is going to tip off of here. I don't know. I think we'll get it off of the rotating table. So that's what the tree looks like now. We have a lot of work to go. So I'm thinking these lower branches are too low for a weeping style tree. So I think our first job should be to remove these lowest branches. Okay. Do you agree with that, Joey?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll do that first.
So we're just gonna chop off these couple lower branches, and here we go. So there's one. I think this one's gonna be a little tricky.
Yeah, we can move these rocks if you need them out of the way.
Yeah, I think we'll have to. Might have to.
There goes that one.
Clean her up.
Put that one over there. And now the big one, eh? I'll hold the branch. Nice.
Okay.
Wow, now we can see the trunk.
And we got a little guy right over here.
Okay.
Want to get rid of this one too?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Off it goes. And I think that we should take the one off over here too. There's kind of one branch on top of each other. I think you should keep that upper one and get rid of the lowest one there.
Okay.
And then I think all the lowest branches will be taken care of. Yeah. So these wounds, we want to carve them so they're flush with the trunk, and then they'll get like a bark skin on them and eventually heal over. The jades and Portulacaria afras don't roll over like a normal tree. They don't have that cambium layer. So they just develop like a bark-like skin over top of the pruning point, and it just heal flush. So I'm going to just carve this flush now. So I've got a fishtail gouge. I'm just going to come in and carve it away. Always being careful not to carve away your fingers. So that's getting there, a little more. I'll have to come up from underneath here. And a bit around this side. Where am I? Right here. How am I doing? That's looking pretty good there. Just come up from the bottom a bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Okay, I like it.
So you can try carving the top one, Joey.
Okay, let's get it done.
Just be careful your fingers.
No, it's okay.
You're gonna take them off.
Is it okay if I go down as well?
Yeah, yeah. You can go over all directions, and that's looking good. So here's a shot of the trunk now with the cuts pruned flush. So that's how you want them, and then they develop that bark-like skin, and it'll just blend in with the trunk so you hardly notice it someday. So our next step is, a lot of these upper branches are all crisscrossed and tangled. So we're going to try and kind of sort them out. Just, yeah, and give it a combing or something, just so they're not all intertwined with each other. So we can see which branch goes where. Because some of them grow from here, they kind of wind themselves around the tree. So we're just sorting it all out. There's a few branches that are kind of half broken in here that we'll have to sort out also.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones that.
Yeah, this one wraps. I don't know where it goes. It's all wound up in here. Gotta be careful not to break them if we can. That's not too bad.
Yeah, so this one right here is actually going straight through.
Straight, yeah.
Let's see.
I have a feeling that one could be cut off safely now. This one branch comes out and then it bends back into the top of the tree. So we want everything fanning out. So yeah, I would cut it right off here. So there is that branch. Wow, there's a lot attached to it. So you can see how that was all just growing in the top canopy here. And I'm sure we'll find more branches like that that crisscross the apex here. I think there's one right here. This one could be pruned off too, Joey. See how it's growing back on itself? This one comes down here and then it grows back in towards the apex. So I would take it off just right in here. You can come around this side and we'll change places. So here's the next branch we're cutting off, which is, where was it? This one. This one right here. It grows back in towards the center.
So you want it right here?
I would cut it off right there. Yeah, and that goes crossing on top of the canopy. So we're looking at the apex of the tree here, and everything's weeping. And then off of this weeping branch, there's a vertical trunk coming up here that has a lot of then branches coming off of it. So if we want to keep this weeping style, this is counteractive or counterproductive to that. It's a big cut. But yeah, otherwise it comes up, weeps, and then comes up again. It's a very strange looking branch. Do you agree with that, Joey?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
All right, that's a big cut.
Okay, all right.
It's a big cut.
We're gonna go probably right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going to want to carve that flush eventually. All right, here it goes. Say big cut coming up.
Big cut coming up. Okay, I just gotta get in here.
I can maybe hold the branch here. You have to get that right in there. There, it's been done. Wow, that's a tree in itself.
I don't know if I can. We'll try and untangle something.
Yeah. That's a lot of weight you're taking off the tree too.
All right.
Wow.
It's actually pretty heavy.
Yeah, I bet it is. How heavy is it? Yeah, that's a lot of weight. A lot of water in there. Okay, so there's what it looks like. That looks much more like a weeping tree now. That's an amazing difference. So there's a branch up here that's a beautiful branch. It twists from here and goes underneath this branch and then comes down here. So this is the branch right here. But it doesn't flow from the trunk. If that branch was somewhere else on the tree, it'd be fantastic. We also have 3, actually there's probably 4 if you count the top one, but we may be able to develop that into an apex. There's 3 major branches coming from one spot here. So these 2 flow really nicely with the branch, a nice flowing weeping structure. This one kind of comes off at right angles, and it's cool and interesting, but it's just not in the right place, so it's going to have to come off. So, Joey, you can do the honors. He's going to come up underneath and try and get a fairly flush cut. We'll have to carve all these cuts in the end, but I'll try and hold it. I don't think it'll fall because it's being supported by the other branches. That's pretty good, I think, there, yeah. There. It is done. And then Joey can untangle that. And try and get it out.
Yeah.
It won't be easy, will it? It's kind of woven itself in there. Braided. They're coming.
Oh, there's a
little branch holding it here. Bend that around. There we go. And you can grab that. And there's some more weight off the tree. Wow, it's really tangled, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just one more. Yeah, I gotta mess this up a little bit.
There it goes. Look at that. Wow. There's a beautiful tree right there. So Joey's coming in now, cleaning up these cuts, and we're using the flush cut saw. It's a flexible stainless steel blade, Japanese saw. It's a lot safer than going in with a knife or a cutter or anything. So he's just sawing away, trying to get it as flush as possible. There'll always be a big wound here because it was a big branch we took off, but we'll do the best we can. The sawing got the wound fairly flush, so I'm just coming in now with the branch cutters and just cleaning it up a bit. Trying to make a fairly smooth transition. That's probably about as good as it gets.
It's the first time I'm actually using these.
Yeah, they work pretty good. A smaller set too.
These.
How's it looking, Joey?
It's a little tricky, but
Getting there?
I think it's on this side that I need to
Okay.
work on, but
Just watch those fingers.
yep, we already got a few nicks, but
Yeah. Not hard. So on this cascading branch here, there's 3 branches that come up and crisscross over the apex here. So we've decided to remove those 3 and just kind of have this branch hanging down. So Joey's going to cut those 3 off. There's 1, and there's a lot of leaves attached to these. So these are just basic structural prunings that'll
and then this one.
improve the quality of the tree for the future. There we go. On a weeping style tree, you want to be able to look in and see the trunk. So if you imagine a trunk coming up and everything weeping evenly all the way around the tree, you wouldn't be able to look in and see the trunk and the branch structure. So you want a surround of weeping branches, and then at the front of the tree you want an opening where you can kind of look in and see the trunk and the structure of the branches. So what we're trying to do now is find a front for the tree, and then we'll work towards that style, having an opening you look in and the rest of it surrounded by branches. We've been looking in and we've got a couple possibilities for the front of the tree. One is here. It shows the trunk line nicely. There's branches going each side here. You can see the apex nicely. This one branch does kind of cross down in front of the design, so that would probably have to be removed if that was the front of the tree. The other possible front is over this direction. And again, we're looking at the trunk line. We've got nice branches. The apex kind of comes towards you, which is nice. It doesn't show off the movement of the trunk quite so much, but the movement is kind of forward and backwards. So it's still, you can still see the movement of the trunk. It's just not as obvious as this view over here. All the other views, there's just no other views that seem to work. They've always got a major branch poking straight out at you, or the apex is leaning away from you. Even if we were to straighten the tree out, it's still going away from you, which isn't very good in a bonsai. So I think there's only a choice of 2 views, and I think Joey's got to choose which one he likes the best.
So we've figured out the best front for this port, but when you're looking at the front of the tree, for me personally, the first thing that pops in my eye is this branch right here. So we've decided to get rid of this branch right here, because as I said, right when you look at the tree, it's got great movement, but this branch right here draws my first attention, so we've decided to give her a little snip.
You having any second doubts, Joey?
Well, I'm always gonna
Yeah, it's
question and question, because once you cut, you can't go back.
You can regrow it and probably take 10 years to grow a branch that thick. But
I was even wondering, like, what about just even taking these 3 little branches off here?
you could try that. Try that for starters, and then see how it looks.
Because
you can always do it in stages, and
because it took a while for it to grow that thick,
yeah.
But so we'll get rid of this guy too. Okay. Yeah, so it opened it up a little bit, but it's still pretty much the first thing I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's still distracting to the eye, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got to go, Joey.
Okay.
Big cut coming up.
Sorry, buddy. So we'll go. You sit right in the middle right there.
Done.
Okay. Okay. So that's
Another one off.
That's it.
Here's the front of the tree now. And you can see it's opened it up a lot. You can see the weeping structure of the branches now. You can see the trunk line. So everything's improved. The only problem I see now, or one of the problems, is these two branches are interfering with each other. And this one probably needs to be pulled down with a guy wire. And this one spaced up more to create some space in between those two branches. Right now they're kind of interfering with each other. So we'll try and fix that. The next steps for this tree is to sort out the branch structure to get rid of all these crisscrossing branches. So we're going to look at one branch at a time and sort out the structure, and then we'll go to another branch and sort that structure out. So just working away, getting rid of all these crossing branches up in the apex. We do want to build an apex on this tree eventually. It's kind of a bit bald up top here. There's not much foliage growing here. But now with the top cleaned out, this will get light and there'll be all kinds of growth on the top of the tree. What are you thinking, Joey?
It's just this.
Yeah.
I don't know. This seems to be bothering me.
It is. It's a long, straight branch with no sub branches, no taper much or anything.
Like, it's got a little bit of like groove here from this side.
Yeah.
Right, but
it doesn't really follow the style of any of the other branches, does it?
It's just
There's
kind of like
no weeping to it. Yeah. So we'll have to fix that. What I would probably do is cut it off short here, and then you'll start regrowing new branches from that tip, and then they'll weep.
So by it, like, so that's the other thing with the weeping is that, you know, if you cut here and then you get, you know, some back budding here or here, aren't they just going to go straight up? So
they will until they get tall enough, and then they'll start bending over and weeping.
So basically, this would be one that would not need to be continuously pruned for ramification, right?
No.
Okay.
No, you're going to let it grow so it weeps.
Okay.
And then probably you always do some sorting out, but probably major prunings will only happen every 3 years or so.
Okay. Okay.
So it'll grow and cascade down, and then you'll go in and prune.
Okay.
And then you'll let it grow again. And
yeah, because I think to even like to try and like ramify this branch would be hard. Because like if you cut here, then this guy would grow, and you might get something here, but then it might grow this way. Yeah,
they naturally grow very angular until they get enough weight, and then they weep by themselves. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's what it's looking like now. So that was a big improvement, wasn't it? Getting rid of that straight branch.
See, I think what happens is when you start cleaning stuff up, that you start to look and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you see more. Yeah, so we wanted this branch to keep as a, I would say that's going to become the apex. It'll grow out and you can grow a canopy up here. So we can prune it back.
This random guy's just...
Yeah, that's good. We can prune this back to shorten it up.
Okay.
I would just, prune that one there and this one here. And then, you'll get stuff growing up, and then eventually you can make that apex.
Do you want me to prune where?
I would prune it about here and here.
Right there?
Yeah. So halfway between the node. And that'll get some back budding in here, and it'll start to grow a bit of an apex there. Yeah, it's just sticking straight up and then coming across the apex, shading it out. So
okay. So do you want to make it flush, or maybe right here, and then
you could leave a little bit of a stub because it may
back bite.
Maybe get a good branch there. Yeah.
Okay.
Either way.
So you want me to do right in the middle again?
Sure. And this, you've got a nice bud here already, so that can cascade eventually too. I think this one's got to be taken off also.
Okay.
See how it's sticking straight up?
Yeah.
I would just take that right off flush.
This whole guy right here?
Yeah. Looking good. So it's looking a little unbalanced. If you look from the front, we've got a lot of weight on this side. It's not really balanced on the other side, is it? So we'll have to take some branches off this side to kind of balance it out a bit. Is that bringing that one up? Yeah. So Joey's we've got a spacer to put between the branches here. We're just seeing if it could fit in. I was thinking maybe here, Joey. Right here. Is that gonna work or?
Yeah, let me push her down a bit.
And we can shape the ends if we
I don't know. It's probably not the best.
No.
It's probably not the best way in there, but
maybe maybe more out here like that. Is that enough or? It'll do for now. We'll leave it like that for now, and then in future maybe we could do something better. We can get the guy wire down here and. Okay, so I think we have a lot of sorting out to do in this area here. It's just like it's pretty tangled looking.
Very top heavy too.
Yeah. We do have a lot of branches growing from the same spot on the trunk here, which doesn't really bother me a whole lot because they're not exactly in the same spot. They're staggered, but they're pretty close together. But I think that looks okay. It doesn't bother me at all. Does that look okay to you, or?
Yeah. I think there's
just looking at the tree as I'm talking here. Yeah, I think this section needs a lot of sorting out. There's a lot of strange stuff happening, like this branch here. The way it kind of comes up and then back in. I think that's got to come off. Because we do have a division of 2 here, and then this is kind of like, I don't think that's necessary to you.
this one right here.
Unless we want to use it as part of the canopy, but it does have a chute up top. Where's the front here? Which one? It was this one, wasn't it? That's kind of getting far away from the canopy. I would just take that one right off.
The one that's sticking up?
Yep. I would just take it right off flush. Because we already have 2 branches growing there. Yeah.
Okay. She's off.
That opens that up. Yeah,
there's so much going on here.
Yeah, and then we've got this branch is shading out the lower branch underneath it, so I think
we could even,
yeah. Tough decisions, tough decisions. It's always hard. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that because this branch kind of comes out here and this branch is over here and this one kind of is in between them, and it's just, I don't know, there's some nice stuff happening in that part of the branch. It's tough decisions, tough decisions. It is a big cut, and it's right at the front where you see it.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it is a problem, that area. It's just, that branch is too heavy. This branch behind it is nice. Like generally on a tree, your thicker branches are on the bottom, and as it gets up, it gets lighter. But this one is just, it's like the same thickness as the, kind of the trunk there almost.
But it'll right here.
Ooh. Let me see what that looks like.
I don't know what that. But then we have this one at the back, right?
Yeah. I think you want to keep that one.
Keep it.
Yeah. I think if anything, it would be this one comes off, this thick one here. It would give you a nice taper from the thick part to here. And it will heal eventually. So after much thought and consideration, we've been trying to decide what to do up here. So from the front view here, the tree is really cluttered on the right hand side. We've got this branch overhanging the lower branches here, which is just blocking out the sun. And it's really thick, this upper branch. Behind it, hidden behind, is a smaller branch. So if we were to remove that thick branch here, we could get some nice taper in that. It would lighten up the top. The branch behind here doesn't overhang this front branch quite as much, so it would allow more light into here. It would balance the tree up so it doesn't look so heavy on the right hand side. It's a big cut and it's right on the front of the tree, which is too bad. It's right up here. You'll see it, but I think if we carve it nice and flush, I think within a couple of weeks it'll start getting that gray skin on it, and it'll heal really quickly, especially being up at the apex. I don't think it'll take too long before that cut just disappears. So yeah, everything tells me to remove that branch. It's a big cut, and Joey kind of agrees. He's well, he does agree. He doesn't kind of agree. He's willing to do it.
Yeah, we need to do it.
It's just something, when you get a new tree like this, you want to strip it down to the bare structure, get rid of all the branches that just aren't good branches, strip it down, and then you regrow it again. So that's kind of what we're doing today, is stripping it down to the bare structure, getting a nice pleasing foundation to the tree or skeleton to the tree, and then we'll build the tree up on that. So it's, it's part reducing the tree at first, and then you're growing it back in again. So it's sort of a two-stage process. So Joey's about to do it. So we're going to follow the rings on the branch. You can see the rings, the growth rings. So he's going to prune it back to one of those, and then we'll probably have to do some carving to get it all kind of sorted out. So here he goes.
Oh, it might even be...
And you can do it in stages too, if you want to cut it like off here first, and then just to make it easier to get in there.
Yeah, that's probably going to be...
And I'm holding the branch so it doesn't fall. Whoa, tough wood.
That's tough.
So there's the branch. It goes over to the branch pile. Look how this branch pile is growing over here. Holy. Yeah, that's quite a pile now. Okay. Well, I thought we'd be taking at least 50% off, and seems we are.
No, I may not have that.
I think we might use the saw, eh? Do you think that'd be safer?
Yeah, because even that was a little bit different.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for those pruners. Okay, we're going to get out the saw and carefully, very carefully, try and get that as flush as possible. Do you want to use the branch pruners instead and just nibble away at it? This is soft wood, we could do that. If you just nibble away, I think that's the safest way to reduce it. Just take a piece off at a time. And it's funny, in Africa, I get viewers that show me ones like this that they're growing beside the road. They just go in and you take a cutting off it or dig it up and put it in their trunk, and
yeah,
they're just like a weed.
Well, and the elephants love these too, right?
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes, even at home with my my other ports, I'll just randomly start ripping off leaves whenever I feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever eaten the leaves?
I've not.
Try one. They're very tart.
I gotta find a good one then.
Find a good one.
Gotta find a good one.
For your first Portulacaria afra leaf. You can take one off one of those branches we pruned, maybe.
Yeah.
These are all kind of. These have all been kind of shaded out.
I heard you throw them in your salad.
Yeah.
They're right here.
What's that taste like to you?
It's good. It kind of tastes like a very sour apple.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's a good description.
It's actually good. I'm just gonna defoliate this right now and eat
exactly.
them. That's actually really good. I start throwing these into my salad.
The first one I tried was really tart, and I think it was maybe just the one I ate. That's starting to get there, Joey. But I've really grown to like them, and I do that sometimes if I'm defoliating the tree. I just eat them all, and you get to really like them.
Yeah, they're sour. I like it. Tastes good.
let's step back and have a look at it and see if it's an improvement or if it's... So that's kind of facing the camera. What do you think? Does it look better, or I haven't looked at it yet?
Yeah, it's opened up quite a bit more, but now I think as we open it up, it's kind of like now the bottom branch, how that guy pops up and then cascades over.
Yeah.
I don't know if that...
I think that it's kind of cool the way it does that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Opens up all new problems, doesn't it? But I think the top is improved. You can definitely see that lower branch more clearly now.
Yeah. I like the fact that we're just opening it up, so now the interior is going to get more light as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this branch needs to be shortened or removed. It's kind of interfering with this branch here. Yeah. So, do you like that, the way it comes up and then cascades down again?
Yeah, I think I want to, with the way I kind of like doing most of my trees, I like to have a little bit of however this tree grew itself.
That's what I kind of like about it, is no one would design that into a tree. That's the way it is, and it's kind of like a feature, right? It's something unique that gives this tree a bit of character.
I think the only thing that maybe is this one right here. Right, but we could. So I don't know if that's gonna...
I think we've got to shorten a lot of this cascading part on this branch, because you want this branch to kind of cascade. Yeah. And I think this upper cascading part has got to be shorter.
Okay.
So all your lower branches cascade down to the lip of the pot.
Yeah.
The upper ones, they still cascade, but they don't interfere with the lower branches. So it's sort of like steps, clouds around the tree.
I like it.
So I think, just cutting a lot of these off shorter will help this upper part of the tree and take a lot of weight off this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right here?
That's what I'm thinking.
Do you want to give that one a cut for me then, just to make sure it's...
I'm just covering it up with my hand here, and that looks really good. Getting rid of that straight section. Even if that was bent down, I don't think it's too long. I don't think it would balance the tree very well. Okay. Tough decisions, eh?
Yeah, and you have this guy. Yeah, we haven't touched this one right here, but
yeah, that might need some. That's kind of interfering with the other one, isn't it?
We'd either have to prune here.
Yeah, I think so.
Because this is all hasn't done anything.
Yeah, it's underneath the shade of this one.
Okay,
I think so. I think that's the solution for that branch.
All right.
What do you think? Have a look out front and kind of picture what it'll look like without that. Put your pinky over top of it so it blocks it out, and you can kind of see how it goes. Is that, you got the front there?
Yeah, the front's right. Yeah, because on.
What do you think? Tell me what you think. Do you think that's a good idea, or?
Because I think at the end of the day, if we do cut that off, I'm quite sure in maybe the future we could maybe wire that one of those branches, the big ones, or at least kind of.
Yeah, it's possible. Like you could, if you bend that, it's going to be hard though.
Yeah.
And I just think, you've got that nice flowing branch out the back here, which really matches this one, and this kind of interrupts that flow.
Okay.
But in the end, it's your tree, Joey. You have to. I just think that's going to be hard to bend down. I think you're going to be fighting that and fighting it, and then in the end, I don't know if it's going to look any better.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that one could come off for sure. Yeah, it's going on the underside of the branch. So do the little cut first. There you go.
All right.
So so this one, it's going to be similar to this cut. I would probably do it from this side and kind of look down at the branch and maybe just prune it as flush as you can, and then we'll carve it up, eh?
You want it right as flush as I can get right here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think so. Big cut coming up.
Alright, here we go.
Here you go.
I don't know how.
I'll hold the branch. Get in there nice and deep and
Yeah, we'll have to do, I think we'll have to do a little bit of carving, but alright.
okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa, there it goes. And there's the branch. You got it, Joey?
Yep, got her.
Hope my hand wasn't in the way for that. That's usually what happens.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice little cutting too.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's have a look from the front now and see how it looks. Oh, I like that much better.
Much better?
Oh, that's perfect. Have a look at it. You like that?
Yeah, it completely opened it up.
Yeah, and it's got that nice cascading branch there now. Yeah, it looks really weeping now, doesn't it? Off that weeping branch, we've got a lot of horizontal branches. If you look at this, it flows nicely. And then we've got all these stubby branches coming off. Some of them weep. That one looks like it's almost broken off there. There you go. That looks better. Much better. It is looking really good. I think we still got to shorten these weeping branches here. They're just a little too long. So I would say, let me just have a look at it from back here. I would say you want them just slightly above this branch. So maybe pruning them across here. Have a look from the front, Joey, and just kind of cover it up with your hand. Usually on a slanting tree like this, the side away from the slant has the branches come off at a higher angle, and these ones are flatter, which we have here. And usually on this side the branches are shorter and these ones are longer because the tree's leaning this way. You want the weight over on this side to counterbalance it so it looks balanced. Okay. So if you shorten these ones would stay long generally. It's not much of a slanting tree, but it has a bit of a slant. So I would, you've got some outward facing branches here, so I'd prune just below that on there. Okay. And then I think these two cascading ones have to be pruned back shorter so they're not growing on top of that other branch there.
These two right here?
Yeah. So we're going to, there's a double branch back here. The front one has a nice arch. It's arching down really nicely. The one behind it isn't quite as good. So we're going to remove that, the one off from behind. You can see from above it's a kind of a parallel branch there. So Joey's going to remove the back one there. Try her best. There you go. Now let's see it from the front. Can you rotate the tree around? We'll just get a 360 of it. Looks good from that view. Still looking good. There's no, like, you know, places with no branches or anything. It's looking good so far, yeah. And we're almost back to the front. There's the front. Yeah, it looks good all the way around. That's pretty good. It's amazing. Good looking tree.
It's not good for short people.
Yeah, it's kind of tall on this, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's working well though, isn't it? Nibble away at it till it cleans it up. That's looking better. Just smooth that out a little bit. Yeah, that looks good, Joey.
Yeah.
Nice. The pruning of the Portulacaria afra is all done for today. The tree has a lot of growing to do now, so a lot of branches will grow out and as they get longer, they'll start to weep, and it'll fill in this weeping kind of structure to the tree. So Joey's going to have to be patient and let those shoots grow out and then start weeping under their own weight. So that's about it for today. I'm Nigel Saunders, and there's Joey.
There's Joey right here.
And we'll say goodbye in the Bonsai Zone.
See you guys.